up and I see that Harley Quinn's once again been fucked up. I say a little prayer for DC. I don't know what I did wrong to have to sing these fucking stupid ass songs, but I gotta suffer along with you. Hello, all my fellow, Asian Americans. It's your boy, it's your man's, Asian retard here. Comic book guy who doesn't do comic books here. Broke ass motherfucker about to walk to the store and try to find cigarette butts to smoke motherfucker here. So this morning, a friend of mine, Corey Davis, Rock Bottom Davis, The Rock, he posted up a thing about the Birds of Prey movie. You know, that just brought back traumatic memories for me, honestly. I think the people at DC should be sued for giving me PTSD for seeing this goddamn shit that they pulled a couple months ago when I seen this promo poster. And I'm going to give them credit where credit's due real quick. We're going to go ahead and just say that, this morning when I was looking it over and thinking about it and doing this video, that they have consistently fucked up and doubled down and quadrupled down and tripled down on the narrative of, their aesthetic choices, if you want to fucking call it that. Some might see it as goddamn lunacy. And I guess that's what the movie's all about, lunacy. I guess. I don't know. I haven't read any fucking spoiler alerts or spoilers or fucking script things or whatever. So I have no fucking idea. To be honest with you, Suicide Squad and Birds of Prey was really not my bread and butter. I haven't read a lot of it. I got very interested after seeing the Suicide Squad movie. Let me just say that I actually did like that. I thought everybody did a good job. I thought the aesthetic and everything, albeit I had some gripes about the Joker and stuff like that, like everybody else. I felt like it was a really good fucking, chance for DC to kind of straighten out the course. Because, of course, their whole goddamn, cinematic universe has been all over the fucking place and all over the map, man. It's been a goddamn mess. And they can't decide what the fuck they want to do. Are we including the Nolanverse? Are we not? Is Batman and Superman going to do this? Are we going to have a Justice League? And then they, of course, had a string of, sexual misconduct allegations come out, during that whole time. And then James Gunn being all over the place and Marvel not knowing what the fuck they're going to do with him. And then DC picking him up for apparently Suicide Squad 2, which I'm really excited about because it's going to have my main man, my bae, my twin flame, brother from another mother. Some might say my physical twin, Dave Bautista, in there as Bane. So I'm interested to see somebody finally try to do Bane close to whatever's going on. But, for the longest time, let's be honest, DC's been just fucking with their fans, dude. They've just been fucking us coming and going or whatever. It's like, we're going to kind of give you what you want to see as a fan, but we're not. It's kind of like that fucking bullshit they pulled with the Robin armor in Batman vs. Superman, and then including the Joker and Suicide Squad, and then teasing all this shit with the Batman universe that they just never followed up on or did anything about. And I mean, I guess they got Robert Pattinson now, or Dick Armey, or whoever the fuck they got now to do Batman. It's like, goddamn, dude, can you not fucking keep a consistent fucking thing? Because, of course, Ben Affleck had his sexual misconduct problems, too. So, and then they had shit going on with Wonder Woman, where it's like the fucking director said some dumb shit, and then they didn't want that, and then it was like Gal Gadot was flipping shit, and it was like, okay. So anyways, let's take a look at some of these beautiful concepts here. Okay, my God. Okay, first off, we're going to go ahead and look at this. What can you say about this? I mean, honestly, I made my joke post earlier about it, but it looks like a rave girl going out to find her a sugar daddy, and she decided to bring her spangly, god-awful goddamn jacket. And that just goes into the overall problem I've had with Harley Quinn lore over the last years, is just she has to be a hoe constantly. Like from the video games, everything else, she's just become progressively more sexualized over the years. Um, and it's just at points it treads on just like completely getting away from the narrative of the character in general. Her acrobatic prowess and stuff like that was definitely showed off in Suicide Squad. And I like that about it. I like that it was not only was she sexual, but she was psychosexual, and she had problems, and it showed the relationship between her and the Joker as being more of one of abuse, and psychological manipulation, if only a little bit. And bearing in mind, if you see the deleted scenes with Jared Leto's Joker later on, you could see why it really didn't work, because at times the deleted scenes showed like more of a human side to Joker. The more like he became more gangster than psychotic madman or whatever. And it didn't really give much insight into the relationship between Harley Quinn and Joker per se, but it did give a little bit more as to who was the obsessive person in the relationship, which it comes to find out was her. She was the one who was obsessed with the Joker and kind of ended up turning him on to her instead of the reverse. You know what I mean? Which was kind of something else. But yeah, this is Raver Girl, total Raver Girl. And I'm not against the sexuality of a character or sexualizing a character, but this is just I don't know, just aesthetically to me it just fucking pisses me off. And that's another thing, is that you can't just get the most simple shit right, which is essentially just the outfit that Harley Quinn's known for. Like, you can't just put that in there and work it in and adapt it. Because even in Suicide Squad, when we did see the Harley Quinn outfit, it was just kind of like a sidestepping, like, the outfit really wasn't given much thought. It wasn't like with all the male characters and Wonder Woman and all this stuff, we see all this fucking beautiful costume design and trying to update it and modernize it and all that stuff. But it was just like literally something you'd buy from Party City. I think Corey said it on his post earlier, it looked like a Party City promo shit. For the goddamn thing. And I mean, it kind of is like the whole aesthetic, as you see when we go through these pictures, is just kind of like, okay, I agree with that totally. It's like a Party City aesthetic. But the next one is what got me. The next one, I first seen this a couple of months ago on Twitter as part of a large layout for the promo, which had all the characters in it and everything. Now, don't get me wrong, I like the design of the poster. It's beautifully, it looks like a hand-drawn piece, but I don't think it is. I think it's just photoshopped and manipulated, maybe. If it is hand-drawn, then they traced it, I suppose. But anyways, it's a nice photorealistic look, but god damn. I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you, I've made my jokes about it, and it's just the rosy cheeks and the smile. She looks to me too goddamn like cornbread, fucking, going to the pumpkin patch to pick some pumpkins, and it's just the overalls, the colors, and the rosy cheeks. It makes her look like some kind of goddamn backwoods bumpkin going down the road to, pick pumpkins at the pumpkin patch and then maybe murder somebody. Like, okay. Once again, this is where I got to stop and also point out the fact that they have put so much goddamn time and effort into going into this fucking remodel of the Harley Quinn and doing all this shit with it, when all they had to do was just sit down with the original costume and work out some kind of update, modernization, something like that didn't necessarily turn her into a fucking prostitute. Which essentially that has always been, at least in my opinion, my biggest gripe with the character, once again, is just that it has been overly sexualized to a sickening degree. And you no longer even focus on her mental trauma or her, psychosis or whatever. You just focus on the fact that she's, a hot little thought whore. Let's fuck her. She's dangerous. We can fuck her and then probably get a STD and get her fucking head cut off. So there's that. And I know that there's going to be some goddamn Harley Quinn fans, but I love Harley Quinn. She's, and that's another thing about, females is and just the problem with comic book things in general is just people took it off over the years. They didn't know a goddamn thing about the comic books and it became cool. Just like with the Joker. people are representing the Joker when they want to show their dark, brooding anger and shit like that. And I'm like, you realize he's a fucking psychopath, right? You realize that, you know, the like comic book version of the Joker is far darker and more fucked up than people have ever seen in the films and shit like that. He is really a sick fucking thing, a creature of sickness. Like, he's fucked up. And I think they've sidestepped that with all the primary cinematic releases and stuff like that. And they've kind of transformed him into this romanticized, dark version of whatever. Nolan's version, still my favorite, just simply because it was more of a realistic aesthetic to the whole thing. Batman aged, he got older, he got beat up, he had to quit eventually. It just kind of made sense. And, you know, the Joker and all that was kind of like, yeah, and people are like, yeah, well, another reason why I thought it was like really nice was simply because you could see that being believable. That all it takes is just like a little bit of like one person who's on just the right chaotic edge to cause chaos, and it could dismantle an entire system of, you know, or entire city's infrastructure. But I digress. I'm sorry. I'm not going to go into my tangent, but let's get on to the last piece. This is the official album. Ooh, well, hello there, ladies. Very beautiful black women, of course. To be honest, this is probably the best part of the whole goddamn thing. Is just this album cover right here. You get a little butt, you get some booty, some breasts, some beautiful, beautiful women, sexually posed. Haven't listened to much of their music, but, you know, I'll be sure to check them out. And, you know, once again, they're going with the aesthetic. They're going with the aesthetic here. And this looks like the best design piece so far. I mean, I'm just going to go ahead and say that. I mean, the rest of it, fucking go back to Harley Quinn Pumpkin Patch, bitch. I mean, Daddy, I got my overalls on. We gonna go down there and pick some pumpkins? Daddy, we gonna go pick some pumpkins? I mean, once again, I don't understand, with billions of dollars and all these intellectual fucking people working around you, why you can't just fucking stick with what people have wanted to see from the very beginning, like an actual Harley Quinn and the Harley Quinn outfit that's not turned into a prostitute like gear. If you've never seen the fucking Arkham Asylum games, it was just like, man, she had like triple D breast, and it was like a little thing with the fucking tits just barely, you know, basically popping out of the fucking bustier, and it's like she would fucking go around doing whatever the hell she wanted to, but they didn't move. They didn't pop out the fucking top of the bustier or whatever. I mean, it's like, okay, well, that's all well and fine for the little weebs to jack their dicks to at night, but goddamn, can you fucking put something in there that's like fucking substantial, instead of just making her fucking sex, you know, jack off bait for everybody? Because she's supposed to be a commentary, of course, at least in my mind, on like abuse and abuse survivors and people who go through abuse, like especially women in an abuseful relationship, and what love can make you do for somebody like that, and how it can make you see them as a hero rather than a villain and stuff, you know. So anyways, I'm gonna wrap it up. This shit's burning my eyes right now, so I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good day. Bye.